Welcome to a new episode of City Connections. I'm your host, Jody Baumgartner. This month, we're going to get a look at the new Glen McNary Branch Library construction, and we'll give you some ways to keep the holidays safe with some fire prevention tips. But first, we're going to get an inside look at how the Coliseum brings some of the best in entertainment to Greensboro and the surrounding communities.
Many people may not know that the Coliseum was originally constructed in 1959, and then we have several major renovations over those 50 years in between. In order to be competitive, in order to continue to attract the biggest and best events to the Piedmont Triad, we've got to modernize and keep up to date with new modern arenas in Raleigh, Charlotte, and even as far north as New York City. Our Coliseum Phase 1 renovations were completed in March, just prior to the ACC women's and men's basketball tournament. And they really focused on the inside seating area of the Coliseum, so we made dramatic changes. We installed a brand new $1.2 million LED scoreboard. We also replaced 10,000 arena seats from an old green plastic chair to a new wide cushioned blue chair that provides a dramatic viewing difference of the Coliseum seating area. And we also added the Natty Greens bar space in the northwest corner and a number of other concession changes on the concourse. Phase 2 renovation of the Coliseum complex is really about the upper level concourse. So we've widened the upper concourse by approximately 18 feet. You can see from the construction going on, we're going to have brand new glass railing to replace old metal railing. And then we're constructing all brand new bathrooms around the inner wall. So as you come out of your seating location, you'll come to a bathroom first, and then we're going to demolish the old bathroom locations and construct brand new concession stands in each corner of the Coliseum upper concourse. So it's going to provide a whole new look and feel to the upper concourse. And as a reminder, the upper concourse was not renovated in 1990 when the original Coliseum renovation took place. The Coliseum complex was set up so that major capital improvements to the facility are funded by the hotel motel tax. So we're fortunate that the property tax dollars are not used for major capital improvements. This was the same case back in 1990 with the major renovation, and the same case that will occur now with these major renovations of $24 million on the overall property. We get a lot of questions all the time about the Coliseum deficit, so the War Memorial Commission took upon itself to arrange for a study by Clemson University to provide an independent review of the Coliseum economic impact. And that study came back and found that the Coliseum generates over $121 million of economic impact to the state of North Carolina. It also generates over 1,700 jobs in Guilford County. What's more important from this study is that the Coliseum operation covers 91% of its deficit simply by tax dollars generated in Guilford County. So that's a huge relief off the taxpayers, and that property tax dollars are essentially not covering the Coliseum deficit. Renovations and capital improvements are an important part of keeping pace, keeping our facility up so that we can attract the biggest investive events to the Piedmont Triad and the opportunity for our community to come out and see a first-class facility.
As always, we're looking forward to more great entertainment from the Coliseum. Now, downtown Greensboro also has plenty to offer in the way of entertainment. And whether you're here for business or fun, parking is always the first step. Here are some parking options available when you're headed downtown.
In downtown Greensboro, we have 4 parking decks, one of which is the Green Street parking deck, which is behind me. It's located at the corner of Green and Washington Street. We also have Belmead Street deck, which is north of here. It's located at the corner of North Green and Belmead Street. We also have the Church Street deck, which is located at 215 North Church Street. And then we have our oldest deck, which is the Davie Street deck. It's located at the corner of Market and Davie Street. The advantage to parking in the parking decks would be, first hour is free. So after that, then it's 75 cents per hour with a maximum of $7 a day that you would pay. That way, when you are in court or conducting city business or in the courthouse conducting business, you don't have to hurry back to your vehicle. You're not limited by the time as you would be by parking at a meter. Also, some citizens may not realize that plugging a meter is against city ordinance. So that eliminates that issue as well. Also, in addition, by parking in the parking decks, we do have a level of security. that's provided there. We have over 250 plus cameras in the 4 parking decks downtown. We also have LED lighting that we added a couple of years ago, which provides better illumination in the deck, so that's a more safe, secure atmosphere. We also have security guards that work Wednesday through Saturday evenings from 9 p.m. to 3 a.m. to help add that, provide that added sense of security. We have 7 surface lots. We also have on-street parking throughout downtown. It's limited it's time limited either by parking meters or time limits as well. And it goes anywhere from 15 minutes to, we have some metered parking as much as 10 hours. In the Elm Green and Elm McGee lots, we have 3 pay-by-space loop pay stations. The convenience of these pay stations is that we don't have parking meters filling every space. I mean, it kind of streamlines the aesthetics and the appeal of the lot by just having the 3 stations. We also are able to, you're able to pay by using coins, dollar bills, or credit and debit cards. So that's a big advantage for a lot of people that they don't have a pocket full of change and don't want to pay that way. Everything's going more card friendly to use in the downtown area. All of our decks and all of our surface lots are open 24/7. At night after 9 p.m. there is a $2 flat rate for parking in the parking decks. That's per entry. Between 6 p.m. and 9 p.m. that is free because after 6 p.m. we do not charge for parking. So once you enter the deck, and then of course you get the hour free as well, so there's no charge up until 9 o'clock. Then it's $2 per entry. Surface lots after 6 p.m. they are available free in the metered and non-metered parking. So that's free after 6 p.m. every day of the week, and also on Saturdays and Sundays and city recognized holidays. If the citizens of Greensboro or visitors to our downtown area would like more information regarding parking, please call 373-CITY or visit our website www.greensboro-nc.gov.
Remember to arrive early if you want lower level parking in the decks. Now, the city's SC2 Challenge is still accepting proposals for ideas to encourage economic growth in Greensboro, and they've extended the deadline to April 15th of 2014. Visit the website below for information on current ideas and for instructions on how to submit your proposal. Now it's time for this month's fun fact. Try your best to guess the right answer. Between all of its branches, how many visitors does the Greensboro Public Library see in one day? A, 1,000, B, 5,000, or C, 10,000? Stick around to see if you guess the correct answer. The city is looking forward to a new library branch opening in 2014. The newly named Glen McNary branch is currently under construction, and we had the chance to take a look.
This is a resolution naming the new branch library located at 4860 Lake Jeanette Road as the Glen McNary Branch Library. And that item receives a 9-0 vote. Congratulations, and thank you for all the McNary family's done.
We are proud to say that in the spring of 2014, we will open the Glen McNary Branch Library. We believe that this facility truly meets the needs of all the individuals in this community.
And all of these spaces were designed as a result of the community feedback that we received. We think that this will be flexible space that serves the community now and well into the future.
We have a meeting room that's over 1,200 square feet. We're excited about the technology that we're using in that room and the ability to take programming out of that room and into the main part of the library, because customers can actually come in, use their library card, check out a device, and use it inside the library. We're excited about that, and that's different from our other library locations. It's one of the new technologies that we believe that we offer that is setting us apart and helping us reach the future. We understand the importance of students, businessmen, and community members to be able to work together. People can come with their own laptops, or they can check out one of our devices. They can sit down, collaborate on the project, study together, walk out of the facility with an actual complete document. For us to be able to foster collaboration between individuals is part of the library's mission.
One of the exciting things about this library is how it's different from all the others, in that it's addressing the community's needs for the future. The design of this building is open, has a lot of daylight, also has a lot of technology integrated into it. The design, the finishes, the carpet, everything that we've selected for this building addresses our ideas about the way that the library is headed for the future.
The Greensboro Public Library is very fortunate to have the support of the Greensboro Public Library Foundation. The Greensboro Public Library Foundation serves as a fundraising arm to support and enhance the projects of the Greensboro Public Library. People can actually make donations to enhance, yet again I say enhance the features of the library above and beyond the actual project budget. For more information about the Greensboro Public Library and the Glenn McNary Branch Library, please visit the library's website at www.greensborolibrary.org. We're excited and we look forward to the spring of 2014, and we hope that everyone gets excited with us.
We look forward to the full tour once the branch is open for business. Now it's time to take a quick break, but don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with this month's special guest and much more City Connections. Welcome back to the show. I'd like to introduce you to our in-studio guest today. Steve Summerford is the Assistant Director for the Greensboro Public Libraries, and he's here to tell us a little bit about what he does and about a new project that they've started that is really fascinating. It's called StoryCorps. Steve, thank you so much for joining us in the studio today. Good, I'm glad to hear that. Can you tell me a little bit about your job? I know you're the Assistant Director, but what does that mean? What does that entail?
I'm the Assistant Director of the Greensboro Public Library, so I oversee all of our special projects, like One City, One Book that we're doing right now, trying to get the whole city to read and discuss the same book. Also to our grant writing and oversee the outreach.
Okay, you've got a pretty expansive job then.
Yeah,
okay,
it's a very community-oriented job, and I love it.
Yeah, I bet. It sounds like it. I can see that. Because this StoryCorps thing is right in line with something that you'd be passionate about.
Right,
now,
exactly.
you got the funding for it.
From the American Library Association,
Okay.
we were one of 10 libraries in the United States that was selected to get a StoryCorps at Your Library grant.
Okay.
And we're very proud of this because 300 libraries competed for this. It was a very coveted project, and Greensboro Public Library is one of those 10.
Good for you!
Yeah,
Thank
we're
you.
quite excited. Yeah.
That is awesome. And you're one of 10, you said,
That's
right?
right.
Okay, wonderful.
I think it's because of the high quality programming that we have a reputation for that over these years. It's not just this one good grant. I think they looked at all the things we've been doing. At least I'd like to think
it's years of built up hard work.
Right.
Absolutely. Good. Well, that's pretty exciting. Can you tell me about StoryCorps? I don't know a whole lot about it. So what is the purpose behind it? What is it?
The StoryCorps is a national project that's been around for about 10 years.
Okay.
And it's a very simple concept. People come to some place, a StoryCorps booth, or in our case, the library, and two people sit down with a tape recorder in front of them and tell a story. A story that's meaningful in some way to one of them. Usually one person is interviewing the other. A daughter maybe interviews her mother to tell that story about how I was born or something like that. And those are then recorded, and the people who participate get a copy of themselves, so they can have it to share with their family and friends forever. But maybe even more significantly, it's saved at the Library of Congress for generations to come. And also, the ones we record in Greensboro will save at the Greensboro Historical Museum. So we're preserving stories and we're sharing stories.
And they become a little piece of history.
They do.
For people
they do.
down the road that can go back and listen to them.
That's right.
Now, can people go in and tell any story?
They can come and tell any story. Right now we have a theme, but this StoryCorps equipment that we got from this grant will be with the Greensboro Public Library for years to come.
Okay.
So we're encouraging people just to think about a story that they think is meaningful, that ought to be preserved, and come tell the story at the library.
Okay, you
it's
said
free.
But right now you have a theme?
We do. We have a theme called Leaving Home. We have to have a theme for the grant.
Okay.
And we're trying to pick a theme that had some kind of universal feel to it.
Okay.
And we thought everybody leaves home at some point for a better life in some way or other, whether it's to leave home to get married, leave home to go to college, leave home to go into the military. So it's a pretty universal theme.
Okay.
And we decided to select 4 groups particularly. Older adults who have to leave home in order to move into assisted living or someplace where their health will be taken care of. And so we're collecting stories at various places around the city, nursing homes.
Okay.
College students who leave home at 18.
Right.
That's a pretty profound thing to do, to have to leave when you're still a teenager. You're not really a full adult yet, and yet you leave home and go off and try to make a new life for yourself. And so we're collecting those at the colleges and universities.
Okay.
We are trying to collect stories from people who are part of what's called the Great Migration. The Great Migration, it's not surprising that you haven't heard of it because it's only recently that term's been used to refer to this time in history between 1915 in 1970 when 6 million African Americans left the South to get away from Jim Crow segregation. They went north or they went west,
Right.
To places like Washington, D.C., and New York, Chicago, Detroit, Oakland.
Right, right.
And so thousands of people from Greensboro, North Carolina were part of the Great Migration. This is not some national story that's not connected to us.
Right, right.
And so, but the stories have not been preserved at all. And so we're very proud of this particular phase of the project because we're at our Vance Chavis Branch Library, we're collecting Great Migration stories, and we're finding many, many African American families coming in to say, yes, all of my uncles left Greensboro to go to Chicago, or my parents left. You know.
Right.
So we're happy that we're going to be part of helping the Library of Congress preserve the story of the Great Migration.
Oh, that is beautiful. In a sense, you're going back and retrieving that part of history that wasn't recorded well.
And it's important that we do it now because as people are aging, the ability to collect those stories,
Yeah, as time passes, it gets harder and harder. Okay, so we've discussed the seniors and we've discussed college students and the Great Migration.
And the last group are immigrants who've come here from other countries. Immigration is part of the basic story of the United States history.
Yeah.
And so we have immigrants coming here right now from various countries. And so we're asking them, what's it like to leave home, leave behind your food, your culture, your language, your family, to come to a new place to start a new life. And the stories are very profound and moving and make you very proud of this community for what they're telling us, the immigrants are telling us about how well they feel accepted, but they still miss home. You know, home is still,
oh, sure,
they've got two homes now, one that's back there that they may never get to go back to.
Yeah.
So those stories are very powerful too.
But isn't that a part of being human? It's listening to your life and your story and your background, what you've been through, and then I tell you mine.
Yes,
you know, that's just a part of interacting as humans. That is just such a great way. So if people are interested in becoming involved in the StoryCorps project, how do they reach you? Can I go to, I know you mentioned Vance Chavis, can I go to any library?
The StoryCorps kit moves around, so it's best to call us and find out where it is and make an appointment.
Okay, and what's the number?
373-3636.
Okay, good, good, okay.
And you're welcome to come and tell any story, not just the leaving home story, and then you can have a copy of it and share it, at Thanksgiving when the family's all gathered around. You can say, hit the play button and play a story that Grandma told.
Yeah. Oh, that is such a beautiful thing. That's exciting. And it really is part of a small piece of a big picture, isn't it? Yeah. Well, thank you so much for joining us on the show today, Steve.
Thanks for letting me.
And for our viewers, if you're interested in becoming involved in the StoryCorps project, make sure you call the library at 373-3636. And for all of our viewers, again, if you're interested in following the city, you can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, or YouTube. While the holiday season is filled with family and friends, it can also bring a higher risk of fire-related incidents. Let's take a look at some tips on how to keep your family safe and healthy well into the new year.
Mainly because we are starting to get into the cooler months, heating becomes a big issue. A lot of people start bringing out the space heaters, start using their fireplaces more, wood burning stoves, things like that. So we just need to make sure that with the space heaters that we give them space, just like with any other heating appliance. Making sure they have at least 3 foot of space around them, keeping kids, things away from those appliances. Making sure that our fireplaces, chimneys, things like that are inspected, cleaned out. We do have lots of chimney fires. Making sure that they've got proper appliances in front of them, whether it be a screen or a glass, something like that to keep the sparks from coming into the house. With the holidays coming up, there are a lot more families that gather and cook for Thanksgiving, Christmas, things like that. So cooking is the leading cause of fires here in Greensboro and in the United States. They account to about 33% of the fires that we have. Making sure that when you are cooking, that you stay in the kitchen with your food, especially when you have family over. They've got everybody that's entertaining and you're trying to, watch kids, making sure that you have that kid-free zone. You have at least 3 foot in front of the stove. Keep children away from it, keep pets away from it. If we do have a pot that's on fire, that we have a lid or something to put on top of that, you just place the lid on top of the pot, turn the stove off, and leave it for 15 to 20 minutes. If we use a live Christmas tree, make sure it's fresh. You can tell this by grabbing some of the branches and pulling them a little bit. If a lot of the needles fall off, it's not a fresh tree. When we do put it up, that we cut at least 1 inch to 2 inches off the base of the trunk, and that we keep it watered constantly. You know, a Christmas tree can drink or take up at least a gallon of water a day, so making sure that we keep it away from heat sources, whether it be the space heater or heating vents or a fireplace, things like that. If we do use artificial trees, making sure that all of our ornaments are flame resistant, flame retardant, make sure that the tree itself is flame retardant. With the Christmas tree lights, we want to make sure that we aren't plugging more than 3 strands together on the Christmas tree. Make sure that we're using a minimum of extension cords if we have to use them. We always want to make sure that we do have a working smoke alarm. Make sure that we're changing the batteries twice a year. They say change the clock, change the battery. Making sure that we're running through our home escape plan with our family, that everyone knows what to do in the event of a fire, the smoke alarm goes off. But also knowing that smoke alarms do expire every 10 years. So after 10 years, the entire alarm needs to be replaced, not just the battery. And if you're in need of a smoke alarm, you can call the fire department, and we do have a program where we'll put up a smoke alarm or change your battery free of charge. If they do want more information, you can go to our website at www.gfdnc.com, or also you can follow us on our Facebook page, which is City of Greensboro Fire Department. We put lots of tips and recalls, things throughout the holiday seasons on there.
We hope everyone has a safe and happy holiday season. Nationally renowned poet Richard Blanco, who spoke at the 2013 presidential inauguration, was a guest at the Carolina Theater this month for Greensboro's celebration of One City, One Book. Here's a look at the event from the Carolina Theater and a sample of his inaugural speech.
Mr. President, Mr. Vice President, America, one today. One sun rose on us today, kindled over our shores, peeking over the Smokies, greeting the faces of the Great Lakes, spreading, waiting for us to map it, waiting for us to name it together.
And now here's a look at some more upcoming events for the month of December. Time to find out the answer to this month's fun fact. The question was, between all of its branches, how many visitors does the Greensboro Public Library see in one day? A, 1,000, B, 5,000, or C, 10,000? The answer is C. Between all of its branches, the Greensboro Public Library sees nearly 10,000 visitors each day. Remember, the library's website offers free computer classes and one-on-one tutoring for students of all ages. Go to greensborolibrary.org. Well, that is all the time we have for this month. I'm Jody Baumgartner, and I'll see you next time on City Connections.